Hey guys, welcome back. So we're back out at the range because we got so many comments on the last test video that we did where we're using our new testing methodology to test handguns, and we'll eventually apply this methodology to rifles as well, that we came back out because I got a lot of specific requests, not just in that video, but in my video comments in general. People have been asking me to check out the new, relatively new to me definitely, SIG P320, a very popular carry handgun. A lot of people coming in the store buying them, a lot of people carrying them, a very popular handgun. So we came out today to apply the same testing methodology. Basically, let me run through it really quick here for you. We have water. We're going to start off by dunking the gun in water. Then we'll move it over to sand. We'll push it flush on both sides into sand. Fire 10 rounds. And then actually, I think we got the magazines loaded with 15. We'll have to fix that. Then we'll take it over, flush it, get the sand off, come over to the dirt, push the gun in on both sides into the dirt, fire 10 rounds, bring it over, flush it in the water, come over to the mud, submerge it on both sides, fire 10 rounds, okay? So that's what we're gonna do. If at any point the gun stops working reliably, we'll stop, break it down, see how dirty it is on the inside, clean the gun, and then resume testing to see how it fares. If it makes it through this first battery with no malfunctions, and I'm not going to count slide not locking open in the last round fired as a malfunction, but if we start to see erratic ejection, if it's just starting to stovepipe, things like that, we'll go ahead and stop the test like we did last time, clean the gun, and resume testing. But if it makes it all the way through, then we're just going to go from one to the other to the other to the other with no breaks, without dunking it in between, what we're going to call the gauntlet. We're just going to see if we can get it to stop working. All right, the ammunition we're going to use is the exact same ammunition we used last time. This is the Fiocchi 124 grain Combat. This is as close as we can really find commercially to military NATO ball ammunition. In my last video, I said I couldn't get ZQI ammo anymore. Guys, ZQI is still importing ammunition. It's just the 9mm I can't get anymore. They're not bringing just the 9mm in. And then for a break-in, we used Freedom Munitions, which is a 115 grain ball. In my last video, this is a brand new gun. In our last video, a lot of you guys said you need to break the guns in. I do not believe in a break-in period. I'll explain that in a different video. But we went ahead and fired 200 rounds through the gun today, cleaned it up, lubed it with CLP, which is a standard military lubricant I use on all guns. I do not believe in using specialty lubricants, specialty greases, or anything like that. I use just a standard 30+ year approved military lubricant, which is CLP, and we're going to use that in all weapons testing we do going forward. All right, so I think I've covered off on everything. It's time to get the blast shield down, pick the gun up, and do some shooting.
A dead trigger. I got one round failed to fire. Uh-oh. Where is that? All right, so we found the round on the ground. It looks like it was a really light primer strike. I'm going to reload it in this magazine, and we're going to see if we can shoot it. All right. The chamber just fine, and it fired. There we go.
Okay guys, now we've got the magazines loaded with 10 rounds of the ball ammunition. We will go ahead and make the weapon ready as if we were going to carry it. It is a striker fired pistol. We have a round in the chamber. Going to submerge it in water. Let it sit there until the water stops, or the bubbles stop coming out, so we know it's completely full. Okay, 10 rounds. Locks open. Now I will have to reload my own magazines, guys, so it's going to take a little bit longer because we're one person short today. Go ahead and make the weapon ready. I'm going to push it into the sand, flush one side, flush the other side, and 10 rounds. Locks open. I'm going to go ahead and flush the gun. I'm going to let it set in the water. Doing awesome so far. 3.
This is just the beginning.
All right, it's flushed. Make the weapon ready. Go into the dirt. Press flush on both sides. One side, two sides. 10 rounds. Locks open. Perfect function. Let's go ahead and let the gun soak and clean off. Change magazines. Let's clean this one off. Really good performance, guys, from the 320. I know there's a big debate out there, and I've lost count. 3, 4, 5, 6, 10. I was going to say, I know there's a big debate out there regarding striker versus hammer fired. All right, here we go. Weapon's ready, into the mud. A little soupy, one side, then the other.
I'm standing back for this.
Here we go. All right, dead trigger. I don't know if there's a round in the chamber or not. This is the hardest test, guys. It really is. Let's go ahead, clean the gun off. See what we got in the chamber. Okay, so it was a soft primer strike. Soft primer strike. All right. Let's see if we can, just from dunking the water, see if that'll clean her out. Perfect, locked open. The mud is a little bit soupier, guys, than last time. Let's go ahead and try that again. 1, 3. I think it can do it. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Mask is getting a little foggy there, Tim.
It's hot as heck out here. The mosquitoes are driving me nuts.
Yeah.
Make the weapon ready. I'm just going to lay it on top since it's a little bit soupier. Lay it on the other side. Did not go into battery. I think it did pick up a round. Awesome. That is awesome, guys. The mud's even a little bit soupier than last time. And I would say the gun did actually pretty darn good. I consider that to be impressive. All right, we know what that means. I'm going to go ahead and say the gun passed. I think it did pretty good. Yes, we had a failure to ignite one round. I think in the future we'll try to make the consistency of the mud just a little bit thicker. It's kind of hard to get right every time. But, I mean, we noticed the slide didn't go home. Tapped it, it still fired, and then it locked the magazine open even on the last round fired, which, you know, some of the other guns haven't done in the past. So, color me impressed. Now, let's see if it can just go straight through all 3 of these 4 without a hiccup. I'm going to try to thicken the mud up here a little bit, guys, with some more topsoil. Try to make this a little bit more fair.
Scientific topsoil.
Trying to be scientific here. It was kind of clumpy last time. Getting the consistency just right can be a bit challenging. Last time the gun just kind of laid on top of it and slowly sank in. see if we can get about the same consistency. I think this is getting pretty close. All right, we're just going to go with that. I think that's pretty good. All right, we're not going to clean it. The AREX made it through without being cleaned on this test. We're going to try it first without cleaning it and see what it does. I have a lot of faith in this little guy. The 320 is really impressing me. Okay guys, straight through the gauntlet with the P320. I'm telling you, I'm really impressed with the performance of this little pistol so far. 10 rounds. Okay, that was a failure to fire. No double strike capability. Let's go ahead and I want to save that round. I want to look at it. Okay, that was a light fire, or a light primer strike. We've had several of these today with the gun. Let's try it one more time. We only have 9 rounds now. I will say, I'm impressed, but that's concerning me. Okay, let's just go ahead and load up this magazine. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Yeah, the light primer strikes, guys, actually is the only concern I have right now with this pistol. All right, both sides in the sand. 10 rounds. It's ejecting pretty much straight up. It's not throwing the brass very far away. Straight to the dirt, make the weapon ready. Push it in. Make sure you get some dirt on it. We kind of packed the dirt in last time. All right, 10 rounds. All right, we're gonna have, magazine's kind of sticking. I'm gonna clean the magazine off, not the gun. I almost stuck the gun in there. Gotta load 10 more rounds, we go straight to the mud. 1. Don't want to put dirty ammo into the gun. That would not be fair. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, here we go. Straight to the mud. All right, turn it over. And 10 rounds. All right, did not go into battery. I think my striker's dead. It is. Didn't go into battery. Dead trigger. All right, we're starting to have problems, guys. So it's, let's go ahead and see what we got going on here. Down to the last round. There's 1 round in there. All right, it just fell out. Let's take the gun over here. Set it down. I'm gonna load up a magazine. So what it was doing is failing to go into battery. And I'll be honest with you guys, that's the hardest test. That mud's nasty, it gets into everything. The AREX sailed through it. I'm still impressed by that. Oh. It's fogging up so bad I can't see what I'm doing. See if I have 10 rounds left. I have to crack open another box here. Okay, there's 10 rounds. Let's just go ahead and see if we can get the gun working just by shooting it. Did not go into battery. Did not go into battery. Let's try something. Okay, so the mud, a little bit soupier still than the last time. The only thing that really concerns me about the performance, guys, is the light primer strikes. We had a light primer strike when we were doing no testing. We were just shooting the gun right after we were doing our 200 round break-in. We had 1 light primer strike. And like I said, I remember watching James Yeager's video when he announced he was carrying this handgun. he took his gun out within the first magazine or the second magazine. I think he had a similar failure. I'm not sure if it's a weak primer, a spring on the striker or something. I don't know. But aside from that, that's pretty impressive performance out of this little gun, in my opinion. All right, guys, so we want to give you our final thoughts. If you don't know who this is Sam. He is now part of the Copper Custom team and the Mac channel team. And we're going to share our final thoughts with the testing this afternoon. I know you weren't present for the first set of tests that we did, but I
watched the video, so.
See, he's a follower.
I subscribe to the Military Arms channel.
That's the only reason he got hired. But why you're here, man, and you were present for these tests, I mean, really, it's more or less a gut check. You know, these really aren't scientific. We have a test sample of 1. We can't control where the sand or the mud gets into the gun exactly the same way every time, right? So it's not scientific, but given that, what's your overall impression of the performance of the gun this afternoon?
You know, I think that any major manufacturer that puts guns out on the market and and have the pedigree of a company like Sig Sauer, you should expect one of their products to be able to complete something like this. It wasn't like we were burying it in the frozen tundra overnight, and like we didn't go into the sand or the mud or the dirt with an open action.
Right.
But it could get in between the slide rails and into the trigger mechanism for the rear, into the striker cavity there, can kind of get in the rear. But yeah, I think it did really well.
So overall, my impressions is that the gun worked extremely well. I was actually really impressed with the performance of this gun. Talking about the points of ingress, you'll notice there's some openings here where the sand could have gotten into the gun. There's openings on the other side as well. The striker channel is fairly sealed. I don't want to muzzle Sam or anybody else, but you can kind of see. But again, I think the gun did really well. Now, the tests that we're doing out here, Sam, would you say that you already said as much? It's not like we're doing something out of the ordinary or something that's extreme. We're not burying the guns under dirt and mashing it into the gun. We're just laying the gun on the surface. And the reason we chose to go that route, guys, is because we're trying to simulate what would happen if you're in a fight, you have your weapon and you fall on the ground or you're struggling with somebody. At best, you're going to push it flush into the dirt that you're laying in with your own body weight, right?
Sure.
You're not going to bury your gun typically. So that's why we've structured the tests the way we have. Yes, I can make this, any gun, I could take the most reliable gun on the planet and pack sand into it, pack dirt into it.
Or like a hand sandwich or a Twinkie.
Right. I mean, if I really press it in there, I'm going to cause the gun to malfunction.
Sure.
Plus, we didn't lock the slide to the rear and let stuff get into it. No gun would survive that. So I really think our tests are sound. I don't think that they're asking too much of any of the guns that we subject to the testing.
No, I don't think that it's anything that's, like you said, you're not asking too much of something to be able to complete what we're doing here.
Right.
The mud was pretty soupy, and you know, that's probably the roughest besides the sand.
Yeah.
And you know,
and we tried to thicken that up for the second round when we did the gauntlet.
Yep.
And again, I think it did pretty well. The only concern that we had is the light primer strikes. Had 2 of them.
That was weird. The first one that happened was I had fired one 15-round magazine. That was the first 15 rounds for the gun, and then the second one happened like another 3 or 4 rounds. You had to look back in the video. Right. It was like another 3 or 4 rounds into the second magazine.
It was on a brand new gun, never been in any sand, dirt, or mud. But we wanted to break the gun in before we shot the video. Guys, if you have any questions about anything you've seen in this video, or if you have suggestions on how we can improve this testing methodology, please post those comments down below. I do try to stick around for the first couple of days after I post a video and it goes live to answer the questions you guys may have. Also, if you haven't already, please swing by and check out Copper Custom. If you would like to support the Military Arms channel, it's the best possible way. And if you haven't already, check out full30.com. That's full30.com. We've taken all the web's best firearms content creators and brought them under one roof, and that is full30.com. And Sam, welcome aboard, brother.
Thanks a lot. Thanks for having me. Happy to be here.
Thanks for watching, guys. Yeah, Military Arms channel. Woohoo! Thanks for watching, guys.